Peace to the tribe and welcome. It is the Initiates of the Flame, and we are here back with another live, another channel here to break down all the type of spiritual knowledge, latest celebrity intel, all the occult knowledge that's going on right now that is keeping from us. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I'm here with my dearest and nearest. We have my homeboys, my brothers, the generals of the flame. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Let them know what we got going on tonight.
Y'all know me as Breeze, here for a good time, not a long time. Um, Ready to share some science.
So Serpent Party handling business. So let's go ahead. Start with tonight. Go ahead and do
Peace,
so.
peace, Sacred Serpent, Sacred Dark Serpent, 1/4 of the initiates, founder of Sacred Serpent Media. Um, yes, 1/4 proprietor of the Initiates of the Flame Substack. Please jump on that Substack. Um, yeah, man, I'm just excited, man. I'm just ready to get to it. These brothers done gave me a few downloads, so let's get it.
Let's go ahead and jump into it, y'all. And like Big Dog Serpent said, please go check out that Substack, y'all. We just dropped 3 new articles for Serpent was going hard with some awesome knowledge. So go ahead. All right. So tonight we're gonna go ahead and give you a good moon reading because we always track the moon. As in sidereal astrology, tracking the moon is most important. So the other night we noticed how the moon was in Libra on the cusp of Libra going to Scorpio. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up on the screen that we see. Also, it's just the new moon. First, it was a first quarter moon, so now it's going to start moving into that wax and give it phase. Am I right, Big Dog Breeze, on that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because for the first quarter moon, it's about action and decision, really assessing, make sure you're doing the action part of your intentions, and make sure you got them advised. Because now it's the action phase, making decisions, cutting off. All right. So, what would you say
Yep.
wax and gibbous moon is for, brother?
Waxing gibbous moon is get ready to slow down a little bit. Get ready for the full moon. Really look at how you measured up, based off of the attention you set on your new moon. And once you hit that full moon, really assess yourself, see how well you did, see what things you could have been better on. It's kind of like the new moon is like the beginning of the class. The full moon is like midterms. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. And then plus, like, I like how you said it's like a time to slow down because when you think about it, it's jumping into Scorpio, and that first deacon of Scorpio is the Five of Cups. And what the Five of Cups gets into is like that period of like slowing down, not really like seeing your investments coming through, but more of like a phase like you kind of gonna be stuck in a way. But like
Hmm.
sometimes when you think things slow down, you still got like motion, as you could say.
I,
So
I agree.
here's the
And I
Five
would
of Cups.
say for the Five of Cups, you're dealing with like disappointment and worry and stuff like that. So, but once you get to the Six of Cups, you're dealing with happiness, restoration of like the inner child. And then that last deacon is emotional change. I would say where the moon is right now, and it's being a waxing gibbous, you may feel that you need something to show for your work, and but you haven't completed the task. But you want something to be able to say, "Look what I've done." You want to be able to show other people and to prove to yourself that you've done something. But Five of Cups is kind of like focus on the task at hand. You know what I mean? Stop thinking about the accolades. Stop thinking about the rewards. because it's not the time for rewards right now.
Right. And plus it's like, when we think about it, the fives, it just left from the 4 cups. So into the five. I mean, 4 swords, I'm sorry. So like what I'm trying to say is like when you think about that transition of numbers and the energy, we were just at a place where it's like kind of resting and slowing down because that last deacon of Libra is the 4 swords. So when you have that energy going on, it's basically like you cooling, you chilling. Now you go into an energy like it's retraction still, but now it's like a little conflict because it's that moment of rest and truth.
hmm And also coming out of Libra, the third deacon of Libra, the Four of Swords, like you said, you in a space of dealing with thoughts and ideas that work for you. You know what I mean? Things that's going to propel you forward in whatever intention you set. And then once you get to the fifth or the first deacon of Scorpio, the Five of Cups, you dealing with, it's kind of like when you start something off, like you get all of that motivation, and then the imposter syndrome steps in. That's kind of like the Five of Cups. You get what I'm saying? Like you really worrying, like, am I really good at this? You know what I mean? Do I belong? Is this really my purpose? Do I look like a fraud? That kind of thing.
Right.
But it's a part of the experience. You know what I mean? We can't say that kind of thing don't exist, but it's kind of a test to see how bad you really want it, to see how focused you can be to reach your goal. Because once again, Six of Cups is like shrimps and steaks, or for my vegans, cauliflower steaks and oyster mushrooms and shit.
Hey, I sure just had a whole lion's mane quesadilla, bro. That shit was so fire.
I want to try that. I really want to try that.
That was so fire. Well, I mean, hey man, I'm telling you, it's the lion's mane gonna be on the way, bro. I just waiting on one thing, so the guys gonna get some, so they can be able to try it out. I'm trying to make some more steaks this weekend for the. Put some rosemary in the pot, let the juice hit it. But yeah, and then like also when you think about five of Cups energy, this deacon is ruled by Mars, so it's like Mars and Scorpio. So we gotta think about that hot, steamy flame energy, because within the Five of Cups, within the image, what it tells you, it's like the cups are empty. It's like there's no water in the cup, so you could say Mars is drying out the water with its hot presence. But you still see
down.
Right, but you still see the ocean in the back too.
Yeah, and I mean, to that point, when you said that, AD, the Five of Cups can represent like being angry about something. It's kind of like that. If anybody listened to Beyonce album Renaissance, and she got a song called "Heated," and on the chorus, she literally said, "I gotta cool it down. I'm too heated. I gotta cool it down." I really think that's what Five of Cups speaks to, because like you saying, Mars, aggression, anger, Tower card, turning that cool water to steam.
Yeah, because you got also Gebra, because this is like also in the Tree of Life, and I said fifth Sephiroth, Gebra, Mars rules that spirit consciousness. So when we think about the energies of fives, the energy of fives are going to be like strong and like active, but it's going to be like unbalanced in a way and untroubled, like because it's still an odd number. Right? We're like when we just left from the number 4, even though, because like when we think about fours, this kind of has us go into our next part of the segment, because we was talking about in our pre-shows where we was talking about understanding the serpent, understanding the demiurge, the occult, because this breaks into it, because in the 4th Sephiroth of the Tree of Life, this is where the mythology is talked about, the Olympians taking over, the Titans, destroying the real gods. So, this is like Yaldabaoth right here. understanding like the demiurge think they are the real gods, but they're not. So fours think they're strong, but the fours are below the abyss. So they're not strong as the original first three of the triad. So fours
Because
gonna go ahead, brother.
a little bit of game, 4 is a 1.
Yes.
If you get what I'm trying to say, 4 is a 1. Because you go, 4, 5, 6, just like the fixed sign deacons will be the 4, 5, 6 of your tarot cards. But I just wanted to add that to what you were saying.
Yeah, no, it goes along too, because it's like that's what we were trying to talk about, that demiurge, like
And
right
the
there.
6,
And
the 6
fours
is
make
really
up
a
the
3.
four elements. Yeah. Yeah.
But just in a physical sense, 1, 2, 3 are non-physical, and then once you hit 4, it becomes physical. And it's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9. But then you can get into 12, but that goes beyond what we're talking about.
Right.
But just to add what you.
No, because that's the energy where the moon is at right now. And plus, it's opposed Uranus. Of course, it has a few squares, but it being opposed Uranus, this makes me think about the car I pulled this morning, and it made me realize that dealing a lot of conflict when we really neglect our soul and our spirit. Like when we hear these, because when we think about Uranus, it's a rebellious planet. It rules Aquarius. So sometimes it's either you have two choices: rebel against God or rebel against the system, rebel against the world. Because when you with God, of course, the fool card Uranus, you're gonna look like the fool you with God. So being that Scorpio energy too, you're gonna be dealing with a lot of afflictions, a lot of pleasures that you want to get to, because you're gonna soon be moving into 6 and 7 of cups.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that with Scorpio as well, because in your anger, it's easy to relapse in some type of addiction or some type of destructive habit. You know what I mean? It could be food. It can be sitting all day in front of the computer, just not doing constructive things. You know what I mean? Or we all heard it, like, man, I had a bad day, man. I need to drink. I need to smoke. But how often do we say, damn, man, I had a long day. I need to go home and meditate. I need to go home and put my feet in the ground, put my feet in the sand.
Man's like, man, did I sit at my altar today?
Yeah, I would say that'll be a pitfall of the 5 of Cups. You know what I mean? Doing something for comfort that really isn't serving you. Stop being so soft. Crying and shit.
Nah, for real. So we're not gonna play this whole entire video, but this is going to coincide in what we was talking about within the demiurge and understanding the serpent and more, because just within the pre-show we're just talking about a lot of things, and cryptid mythology speaks into that. Missed the wrong. Serpent, when you get a chance, man, try to find that for me, bro. Find that video for me. It's the one you sent me with the old dude talking.
The video I sent you earlier today.
Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know if you.
It's in your text messages. That's why you can't find it.
Okay, I guess it's in my computer uploading it.
Yeah, it's in your text messages. I'll put it in the Discord if you want.
Yeah, put that in Discord for me so I can grab it.
I got you.
Yeah, but and also that's really it with the moon reading, y'all. Like, while we waiting on that, what's he thinking about a moon square Venus, bro? Or that trine going on with Neptune.
Moon square Venus, Leo. Man, that I think that square speaks to, you can either, just to be straight to the point, you can either, fuck your energy off or stockpile it and power up.
Right.
You either can chase these hoes or do the root lock in a microcosmic orbit.
All right, I put it in. I put it in the maidens though.
I see.
Yeah, because Venus in Leo to me speaks to like your responsibility to your spiritual development. So learning about the Kundalini, doing what you can do to cultivate that Kundalini energy. Whereas the moon in Scorpio is more partial to let's have sex, you know. Whereas, I mean, it's healthy when you don't ejaculate and you're able to keep your seed, you know, because that is part of Kundalini, at least for men. So it could be that tension with that, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, man, I'm tired of holding my seed.
And he said, I'm trying to fuck some.
Yeah. So, it's just like, maybe
what?
Like you get what I mean? Like the hawk is just like,
yo, every time you do that raw shit.
It's just like one of those. I feel like that square placement is just kind of like a surplus of energy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you need something to do with it, you know, because if you don't pay attention to it, that doesn't mean that it's going away. You know, that don't mean that suppressing it is going to truly suppress it. You know, it's going to find a way to express itself.
That's a fact.
You know.
So all right, y'all. So here's the video breakdown. We're not gonna play the whole thing, but we're gonna break it down, talk about some few points. So brothers, let me know when to pause. I'm gonna pause, talk about some things. So you know, just be like, what's his name? Pause. All right. So we rocking it out.
There's a great Gnostic gospel called the Testimony of Truth, which is discovered in the Nag Hammadi library. So that's buried in like 400 AD. So it's probably like 2nd or 3rd century AD. And the Testimony of Truth retells the story of Genesis. But interestingly, if you read Genesis, and I mean like the actual account of Genesis, so who are the characters in the sort of Garden of Eden story?
Adam, Eve, Snake.
Who's the snake?
Devil.
Right. Why do you think that? It's just sort of traditionally the snake is the devil, but the text never says that. The text never identifies the serpent with the devil.
Oh, interesting.
The concept of the devil, the Satan, the accuser, didn't exist at the time of writing of Genesis, right?
This is like one of those things about, did the Fruit of the Loom logo ever have a cornucopia in it?
Yeah, a Mandela effect. Except this time, like,
the original Mandela effect.
Yeah, I suppose so. Like go and read the text. It's just the serpent, and we're introduced to the serpent. We're told it's Genesis 3. It opens, now the serpent was more crafty than any of the beasts that the Lord has created, and so Adam and Eve are told, you can eat of any fruit of the garden, but do not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For in the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die. Surely die, because the Hebrew, it sort of says die twice. It's like you will die. You will die a death. And so the serpent comes in, this crafty serpent. Crafty is an important word there. The King James translates it as subtle. The word is arum. So the snake was more subtle or crafty or shrewd than the other beasts. And it comes to Eve and says, did God say that if you eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you'll die? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, you're not going to die. God just knows that if you eat of that tree, you'll become like him, knowing good and evil. And he doesn't want that. So Eve looks at the fruit, sees that it's good for eating, takes a bite, gives some to Adam. And what happens? Do they die? No. What happens? Well, God tells us in the Bible, in the Genesis account, God says, now the man has become.
Now, what I'm going to show right here, so everybody can get this view, because we need to understand that what he's trying to get into and why we're bringing this up, because earlier we was talking about certain decoding and certain energies. So I need you to realize that what he's trying to help you understand is a different view of the serpent. So I need you to get this book. It's called The Serpent: An Alternate View of the Devil by Jack Marshall. And he's getting deep inside of the occult, where he gets into the parables, the foundation, the creation days. He gets about the fowls and airs, fallen angels. He talks about Babylon more. So get this book and check this out, because this is like correlating to certain things that we was not aware when it comes to this mystical text, because it was created by other people and it's changed throughout times to fit certain agendas. So I'm gonna crack it back up. Y'all got anything to say before I start it?
No, you can go ahead.
Come like us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and eat from the tree of life. And so he's banished from the Garden of Eden.
What's the tree of life?
Well, who knows? The tree of life and inherit eternal life. So presumably, in the way that eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil gives you the knowledge of good and evil, if you eat from the tree of life, you get eternal life.
So my thing on the tree of life, I thought it's a whole schematic version of it, and I'm gonna pull it up now because the tree of life is just neglected in the first book. It's like just it's talked about, but it's not really talked about. Whereas it's a whole mystical, deep occult and meditation practice with this tree of life. I'm gonna pull it up right now. But Breeze, let them know about the download. We was talking about the tree of life, how like the four worlds can like is represented in the multiverse.
Hood said he backstage.
Oh,
So-
my fault, bro.
So,
Don't add this one. Add the other one.
Okay.
well, basically, we were talking about the Sephiroth on the Kabbalah being different worlds. You know what I mean? I mean, just like in the sky, we got different planets. And these planets have different influences. I mean, what else did you have a question about, AD?
I was trying to pull up the tree of life, and I was basically trying to say like, have you explain how we was talking about the four worlds representing the multiverse? Because we was talking about Kang and Loki,
Mm-hmm.
and Kang was talking about the other multiverses, and I was like, basically the tree of life and the four worlds of the Kabbalah is being expressed in the four elements of nature is basically like them talking about the multiverse.
Why is it abstract? Is my question.
You said, why is it abstract?
Why is it abstract?
Mm-hmm.
Why is the tree of life abstract?
Yeah.
I would say the tree of life is abstract. Well, I would say part of it is abstract. Once you get down to the very bottom, it's more of a physical thing. But as you come from Kether down to Malkuth, as you go from 1 to 10, it becomes more material. It becomes more and more material. So basically, you go from the concept of a cup. So when you think of the concept of a cup, it's infinitely many ideas you have. And then you think of like the perfect cup, now you kind of pinpoint it. And then you say a red cup with a green handle. Then it becomes more concrete and less abstract, if that analogy makes sense. Because Kether is more so intuition, above the veil. And then as you make your way down, you get into more of a mental space. And then from there, you get to an emotional space, and then you get to physical reality, per se. That's how I would explain.
I'm gonna play a little more. I'm gonna cut it out.
No volume, bro.
No volume.
say at the beginning, you must not eat the tree of life.
Mhm.
He just says you must not eat the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So arguably, like,
If they'd Gantt charted this correctly
yeah,
and
yeah,
they'd worked out tree of life,
yeah.
live forever.
Yeah, do you know, it's actually a really interesting. Like, what would happen if Adam and Eve eat from the tree of life first, and then, well, arguably,
See, this is the sort of insight
yeah.
that you need a productivity bro
I
bring to the theological
seriously
discussion.
though, it's a great question. I think that the tree of life gives you eternal life, and the idea is that Adam and Eve have eternal life in the Garden of Eden. When they're created, they're just going to live forever in the Garden of Eden. They've already got eternal life, so eating from the tree of life,
And
does
that's
nothing.
been subtracted from them now that they know good and evil.
Exactly.
And you're not allowed to know good and evil, and
and
also
also have eternal life. So then they're banished, and then they're mortal. So the Christian interpretation of the story is like, well, they didn't die literally, but they died in the sense that mortality entered into the world. You know, they died a sort of spiritual death. They became,
but that immortality
like
was
gods.
taken from them.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that you're not going to die now doesn't matter. You
But
are.
There's something about
that's like very clear though. You know, when you're talking about the tree of life and you're talking about death and spiritual death, it's very clear that they're talking about your side and they're talking about sex and the importance of premarital sex and sexual death, period, or spiritual death. Like, you're not going to die. You know what I'm saying? Eat the fruit and you're not going to die. Like, you can have premarital sex and live, but it's a certain part of you, whether people want to admit it or not, that literally dies, and you're like, you have to pick the pieces back up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. It's like you willfully forfeit it, even though you don't even know how special it is.
Clueless.
And it's like then you make it to the end of the road. You're like, damn, had I known XYZ, I would have,
Right. Now since we talking about Kabbalah, go ahead, Serpent. Go ahead, bro.
Did y'all catch in the beginning when he said to him, kind of in a joking manner, I don't have a soul anyway?
No.
Yeah, this guy with the pants on said it to him. He's like, I don't have a soul anyway. I don't know. I don't know. That was just random. But yeah, continue.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead play this for a few more seconds. Then we got one more download that's quick, and it gets into why we talking about the tree of life and Tarot and why it's so important, because these. So I'm just gonna let this by. Enough of me. Pause.
Doing good and evil as a human, that means that you are going to die. Probably because if you sin, the price of sin is death. And if you don't know good and evil, then you can't sin because you can't knowingly do evil. But if you know good and evil, then because we're humans and we're naturally flawed, we're always going to sin, and therefore we need death. So death enters the world. But here's the thing, right? That's one interpretation. But it is a bit of a weird story. Like, who is this serpent? Why is the serpent even in the garden in the first place? You know, like what's the serpent doing there in this perfect Eden? You know, who created this serpent? You know, why can't they just eat from the tree of life afterwards? Why does, because God doesn't? It's not like they literally just can't eat from the tree of life. God banishes them from the garden and then guards the gates of Eden with a cherubim with a flaming sword. These stories are extraordinary, man. It's worth revisiting them. So this ancient gospel, testimony of truth, identifies the serpent. It tells you who it thinks the serpent is.
You good? Go ahead.
Y'all keep it a buck 100. Have y'all ever, on a one night stand, got you some Muslim cooch? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Never.
Okay. Have you ever got some westernized, Christianized cooch on a one night stand? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Off the muscle.
And twice on Sunday.
That's it right there. I'm telling you. Because we do not know about sex and the power of it and how far it goes. Like, we don't know it. So it's like when he's talking about it, it's almost like they just like either they know or they don't know, but it's like they just kind of can just sit and ponder about God, and that to me really just like is like real weird because we would never ponder about how to build a house. Like, let's have a podcast on should we build a house with materials that fit, or should we just put random pieces together? I don't know. In the archaic period, like bro, like why is we
that is
why is we wondering about God, bro, in 2024? And this book was
that is
written
dope,
supposedly
that is
2,000
dope.
years ago.
That is dope because I ain't even
Yeah.
thinking about it like that.
Because
Bro.
I would say to that point, it's for your interpretation, not for your contemplation so much. You get what I mean? Like, it's for you to say what it is and move from that point, whether you right or wrong, because you'll find out one way or another,
Right.
as opposed to being a philosopher
Stand
and thinking that, you know what I mean? You want to cover all bases so you don't look stupid or sound dumb. It's just like you
Right.
gotta pick something to start from and see where it takes you.
You can never build with that mentality.
Right.
Because it's like, do we want to use a 4x4? I don't know. Because the 2x4 would be great. Like,
Right.
have you ever seen the curved bricks that we could use? Wow, let's try that. That didn't work. Let's try something else. Like, you gotta make a decision though.
Yep.
Especially about God. Like these niggas can't differentiate Jesus and the serpent being Kundalini by now, bro. Is we really going to do this?
Yeah, hey, I mean that's where we at. That's how strong the Maya glamour illusion is. That's how strong it is.
But you know, maybe they just Masons and they want to continue to convolute truth, or they want to
ding 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 ding.
But
Because look,
and they
when we think about covering the truth,
go ahead.
When we think about covering truth, before we play this video, check this out. This is what we talking about with another download. But go ahead, big bro.
Yeah, I was just basically saying it's not even the truth. It's about your approach to this information. You get what I mean? Like, it's our approach to information because everything is here. You know what I mean? You want $1 million? you want psychic powers? Everything is here. It's just that the approach to the information, the approach to the occult, and then once you do get a sound approach, how disciplined can you be with it to stick with it? You know, because it's not like anything hidden for real. This is information age, ain't it? You know, so I think even more than them convoluting the truth is more so of a let's focus on getting them to approach information in a way where they won't find the truth, no matter what's in front of them.
Yeah, but I totally I basically agree with both of y'all because just the idea that you niggas is able to just sit around and contemplate some shit like that shit is, you know, and then you're on cast doing this shit with like hundreds of thousands of people watching you and viewing in, like, yeah, this shit is like, this is not shit that we can do.
Talking about some I don't know. Yeah,
maybe God is just, maybe Jesus is the serpent. I don't know where this is. I don't know, man. This is deep.
So here's another occult artifact and thing that we found, had a download about. So I'm going to play a video and then the brother's going to talk.
Harvard actually, from its very beginnings in 1636, the college by 1638 actually has an enslaved man living on campus who's referred to as the Moor. The Moor. And that actually is directly related to two slave trades.
So talk about Harvard.
Sure. Harvard actually, from its very beginnings in 1636, the college by 1638 actually has an enslaved man living on campus who's referred to as the Moor. The Moor. And that actually is directly related to two slave trades.
So now, before we get to talking, I want you to see them feet? I need you to look with your eyes, family. See that feet? They're talking about one part of this where they're not getting to another part. Here's the download. It's two of them. Now let's really get a full big body image on bro. Pause. Now in his hand he has a mask and he has cards. Go ahead, break this down, Breeze, because we got this from the big bro. Because I got his name is up too right here too. So
Yeah, this I guess this I don't know what you want to call it. These sculptures are in Houston, Texas right now. And in the front is somebody dressed up like a Shriner. If you don't know nothing about the Shriners, know that those are basically high level Masons. They basically like retired Navy SEALs type of thing. You know what I mean? They can jump in and do whatever they want whenever they want to. These are the people basically that are standing in lieu for the indigenous people of America, basically the federal government. You can't be a Mason, or you can't be in the federal government not be a Mason, let alone Scottish Rite or whatever. And I think that the guy that's facing the other way with the mask and the cards in his hand, the magician, it just shows the dichotomy of what we see. You know, we see white people, but on the other end, you know, these white people must be doing some type of spiritual work, you know, to pull this type of shit off. And I think that's kind of like what I get from it when I see it. It's kind of like a reflection. Because Masons are, you know, Hood always said they're ceremonial magicians.
nobody 2019 biggest classes so close strikes they were still armature with glass eyes, a Masonic apron, and fez, antique. Masonic. So and then here's another download where Serpent had tapped in and brought to our attention. And I need y'all to go ahead and check this out. So Serpent, man, break this down for the chat, man.
Serpent.
He probably handling business right now. So with this, he was talking about the show, and it was basically this guy dealing with the shadow. Every time he would turn the other cheek and deal with bullshit, the mask on his face would pop out, and Serpent was relating the mask to the statue because the guy was holding the statue in the a mask in the statue. So and then that mask was painted over. So as you see this mask right here in this figure, bro had a download and correlated to this.
Yeah, so I don't know how many people are familiar with them, but them, the second season just came out a couple months ago. It's basically a show about an affluent African American family. They move into the suburbs. They're the only black family in the suburbs, and the dad is forced to be the turn cheek guy just so his family could stay in this neighborhood. The mom is not much less so. She doesn't give a shit. She's with the shits, right? But the dad is essentially, it seems like he's going through a bunch of shadow work because he keeps turning the cheek and letting people talk to him and treat him any old type of way. And whenever he is going through these issues with himself and trying to push down the anger that he has, Mr. Bojangles here to the right comes out, you know, and just reminds him, you know, of what he has going on inside. So I just drew these correlations together because I caught that Harvard picture, and then the homie Breeze actually saw that Harvard picture live. And I don't know, I just correlated those two things together because that white face is actually over a black face, and then there's a black face on top of over the white face. So Whether they connect or not is up for you guys to decide.
I say, man, I fuck with the download. It was nice. And also, so yeah, I'm gonna bring this up, and I want the
What
chat.
happened? What happened?
I want the chat to be real. So chat, let me know what y'all think, chat. Here you go. We dropping it live.
Unlocked Impact Awards, hosted by Jason Lee, is known for celebrating individuals who are making a significant impact in the entertainment industry and beyond. This year, one moment stood out. Jonathan Majors took the stage to express his deep affection for Megan Good. During the event, Jonathan Majors couldn't hold back his emotions as he professed his love for Megan Good, saying, "With all my heart, I love you."
I love you.
He sweated to that motherfucking jacket though. I just want to point that out.
Hey, one thing. So, I remember I was telling my girl that, like, ain't it funny with Jonathan Majors that in Lovecraft Country he was with Journey Smollett, and now he was Megan Good in real life, and both of them was in Eve Bayou, and they were sisters.
Witchcraft. boy under hardcore witchcraft, man.
I just think it's
ain't those Kamala's daughters?
They not Kamala's daughters, but they can't be like they put out the Smolletts.
Yeah.
Jussie.
I just think that's ironic.
But think about all of the psyops that, like the Jussie Smollett psyop and all of that. Like, it's all connected. Him, like think about how good his life was about to be, and to think about him crying on the Zeus network.
Man,
I can't imagine nothing worse than that. Like, I just wouldn't want to be that high.
This nigga had had 3 movies in the movies at once.
Like, this man was on fire, bro. This nigga was like Martin Luther King reincarnated, mixed with a little bit of Denzel. He fucking just ruined it.
Love you beyond all limit. With all my strength. With all my heart, I love you. I was supposed to be this tough and strong, and you done carried me so many nights.
Bro, this is a trauma bond.
Man, that nigga's acting, bro. That nigga's acting.
This is a trauma bond.
Yeah.
Bro.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that felt like this nigga got the biggest cape in the world. Thank you for making me feel better, brother.
If he was up, he would not be with Megan Good, bro. He crying.
There's no way in hell. Look,
that's nasty work.
If the black girl community really wanted to be outraged, instead of worried about Simone Biles and her husband, y'all should be looking at this weirdo, right? Because he only went to the black woman after he ran away from that white woman, and thanked her for making sure that he didn't go to jail. So that's nasty work right there.
Damn.
I love you. Through the fire.
His vulnerability touched many, including Megan, who was seen tearing up in response. As expected, social media exploded with reactions. While many praised Jonathan for his vulnerability and love for Megan, others were quick to point out that he's an actor, questioning the sincerity of his emotions. Some fans appreciated the openness, pointing out how important it is for men.
It's for men to do what? Finish this sentence. Let me hear that.
You know what they gonna say.
especially black men, to express their emotions freely. However, others
Oh
felt that his
my
profession
God,
as an actor makes it hard to gauge the authenticity of his feelings. Jonathan Majors, known for his role
bro.
Just
This dude, I cannot believe it, bro. I
we was
cannot believe this nigga
Kings.
was. Man, he
We
was
were
so good
Kings.
as Kang, bro. This
Damn.
man
Yeah,
was
for real though.
I tell my girl that every day.
he was so amazing in that goddamn
He
movie,
was
bro.
perfect for that role,
God
bro.
damn, man.
And
He
he'd
was
never
he
ever get
was
it back.
so good. Yeah, that is like man. Hey B, man. I
What's
love
up
you,
with it?
bro. You might need to just get you a Moroccan, a Chinese girl or something, man. I'm telling you, man. I don't know, man.
One that got one that would
You
cover up
try
the
a
face
different
and the
race,
body,
man.
bro. One that cover up
Yeah,
they
get you
wear
a
the face
Muslim,
mask and
man. Like,
everything.
this is nasty work, man. I cannot believe it, man. Like, cause you know this is all PR, and this is just the nastiest PR ever in the history of public relations. An Impact Award on Zeus, so you can get up there and cry and do a makeshift audition, so people can be like, "What about Jonathan Majors for this role?" Like, bro, like, come on, man. It gotta be a better way, bro. I don't know what can he do, man. Besides
Go back. He
publicity stuff.
look. He can become Kane. He can go back in the past, and he can plead guilty.
Listen, or never when she say, "Hi, my name is Rebecca," he's like, "Nope, I'll pass." Like that's
Yup.
all he had to do. Nah, I'm good, shorty. You got it. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I just go crazy.
I don't. Does Zeus produce anything relevant, or is it all that?
Baddies, bro.
That's all ratchet
Baddies.
shit?
Krishan Rock and Baddies, bro. That's what Zeus is. That's Zeus, bro. Think about that crazy shit.
Wait, didn't Krishan just get sentenced?
Nah, she ain't get sentenced. Her ass locked up like Akon, bro.
Damn.
So Blueface the only one that got sentenced.
Yeah, Blueface got sentenced for 4 years. See what that clout do, man? See what that clout do. See what that spirit possession do. God damn it. Niggas think they about to just make $1 million being goddamn trolls and end up behind the goddamn walls trying to be comedians online. Like, this shit is wild.
Damn.
I'm saying because when that belt get put to ass, I don't want to hear no. But man, it was.
Them niggas be in jail, bro. Like, them rappers, they be shot. It be weird, man. Like, this time, this world we live in, you what you sow. Like, in the most divine way, positive or negative. All the trap rappers talking about dead ops, they'll kill each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the troll people, they'll, like, fall, crash, and burn. That's why I'm very mindful of what I say and what I think, because I know that it can happen. Like, you gotta really, really think about that shit. You can think in a way where you like, all right, I'm gonna make a certain amount of money a day. Just thinking that it'll put you in place for that shit. I just know in a city where I ain't even know nobody yet. I still think back like that was some amazing shit. But it's like the mind is so powerful, bro, that I would not play, bro.
Is Zeus the same network that got all them has-been baby mothers on? The one with Rick Ross baby moms and
girls,
and China's mom and
Blueface mom.
oh my gosh, that got to be the worst thing ever on TV, bro. Like
Blueface mom was like, I see you. She was with Scrappy's mom. Like, I see you. You still going through stuff with your babies, and I don't want to be going through stuff with my babies at 60 years old, just crying. I'm like, listen, man. The black man needs to like really just try his best when it comes to like raising his family.
The
Because what the
nastiest,
fuck, man?
the nastiest work was when they had Game on there. Like that dude is no, either him
Ridiculous.
or Eddie Winslow. When Eddie Winslow was on there rubbing feet and shit, bro.
Nigga, take your pick.
What is that nigga
Take your
real
pick.
name,
If
bro?
that's your mom, if that's your mom on there,
Bro.
what you say, Jabri?
What is his real name? You said Eddie Winslow. What is his real name?
Darius McCray or McCrary,
Okay.
something to that effect.
He married Corinne Stephens.
Yeah, and he be popping. Oh boy,
Oh damn. What?
man, it's wild out here in these.
Are you? Whoa, what you saying? Someone giving up pussy? What?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, man, it's a bookification of Eddie Winslow. Just look it up, man. It's pretty known.
No, I'm cool.
Damn, bro.
I'm hearing about it now. I ain't gonna look it up. Hey, but further, what herbs y'all burn
Like
today,
that was
man?
his claim to fame.
What herbs y'all burn today?
I don't even know. I just got like a little burning, little like pot with just like intuitive herbs. I just be grabbing and mixing. That's when I do my real magic. Like when I don't even have a real concept. Because that's how I started. I just went to every herb and just got, you know what I'm saying, every herb for like $1.25. I ain't know none of that shit meant or nothing. So I just was burning it all, you know. But that shit really caused some shit to happen though. So I still do that to this day. It's my form of chaos magic.
Yeah, that's pretty fire. And when we think about chaos magic, and if you want to get into those things, here's a download for that because I've been messing with it. And reason why I'm bringing up like herbs and just talking about coke because one, I just feel like cauldron magic and altar practices and stuff like just needs to be talked more because I feel like most people are still having like spookism with it and ideas. Like someone is came to me and was trying to understand it, and all they was dealing with, like, all the things that we talk about, and they had questions about. They were just like, "Yeah, like I'm just scared to do it." You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, what kind of mindset should a person have when they go into these things, especially from like hearing so many people like talk down about it more, like because that messes with your magic in a way.
Yeah, I would say you got to be intuitive with it, man. I think the only advice you should be taking from somebody is get you a candle, get you a quiet place. You know what I mean? Light the candle, get you some incense, and then you take it from there. You got to be intuitive with it. You got to let spirit tell you what to do, or at least lead you.
Right.
Because you can't just be sitting at your altar like you got a cookbook and you like, okay, now they say deep breaths. You know what I mean? Now I gotta close my eyes and visualize an apple and think of what it tastes like. And no, man, that's you. And then you're gonna be mad. And you're gonna feel like you got scammed. Basically, it's intuitive. That's all I would say. Is a very intuitive thing. Yeah.
I would take
Another
it
way
like
you could think about the. Go ahead, brother.
I would take it into like draw or write. Right? If I told you to draw, just draw, you wouldn't be like, all right, show me how to draw then. Like what you be using to draw.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you got a pen and it's right there and you got a piece of paper that's right there, you're just gonna draw
whatever, like you're just gonna utilize that. So if I'm like, we're gonna do a money spell and we go and grab a green candle, you can either be like, I don't got a green candle. All right, then use a white candle. All right, I'm using a white candle. Does that matter? No, it don't matter, because I think magic is when you actually do it. Like, just like if I'm drawing, I'm drawing. Whether I draw a good, great, charge for it, it's different variations of it. But when you a black person and you do magic, like ceremonial magic, and you get off the dumb shit, you change a lot of shit for you. But the problem is we so westernized, Christianized, that we don't even really think of it as a real thing. But like, it ain't no real one way to do. Just because it ain't one way to dance, draw, fuck, sing. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Right.
to listen to music and you play some shit that I didn't like. I'm like, that's not even music, Jabri. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Like, you can't listen to that. Like, that would make no sense. But we try to do that with this magic shit. Niggas try to tell you, like, oh, you wrong for doing that. Like, you wrong for drawing. Like, you wrong for singing because you ain't doing it the way I want to do it. But I would even go so far as to say, you can't help but to do this shit. That's the
Right, right, right. So just imagine the power you have when you're intentional about it.
right. That's my thing right there, Jabri.
Nah, for real, because when you go to the altar, one thing you can start and do, think about is like, when I come here, because as we see here, it's altar for sacrifice, for worship. So when you sacrifice and alchemize your old self and sacrifice your ego when you come to this place and rest in your mind. Like, think about Genesis and the Noah series, or as they call it, Deucalion's flood. When you come into the Greek mythology meaning of it, it's about returning to your art, confiding in yourself, building that spiritual world. Because at the end of the day, we're just like the chariot card. We don't control the chariot. All we can control is our inner world. So another book I want to present to you where these thoughts and ideas can come is by tapping into Peter J. Carroll Leventhal and Psychonaut. Because when we think about that word psych or just period or psychology, I think we just tend to like pass that up and not even think about the meaning of that word.
I think another thing when you doing the magic and you intuitive and intentional about it, you will be granted such a level of protection to where like you really ain't gotta do like protection spells per se. And I was big and on doing those type of things. But when you in true divine alignment, you got ancestors, you got warrior ancestors that's like Damon on Friday After Next. Like, I wish a motherfucker would, you know what I mean? Because all you got to do is just be afraid, you know what I mean? And your ancestors step in, you know what I mean? All you got to do is, you know what I mean? Just be in a situation, and your ancestors are gonna step in. They gonna
Let's
step in.
go to Hebrews 12:1.
Bet, bro.
Because in my man, it was funny. Long story short, in my previous job, they tried to play me, right? And so when I was about to give them my resignation, they doubled down and gave me a termination before. But dude got in a car accident that same day. I'm like, oh shit. I drive a Jeep. He got hit by the same type of Jeep I drive. You can't make it up, you know.
Get up.
And I wasn't, you know what I mean. I wasn't at the altar with a voodoo doll like fuck this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like I minded my business, you know, and I stayed in alignment, you know. It's just like, you know, for analogy, imagine, you know, a little girl that's like 4 and she got an 8-year-old brother, a 10-year-old brother, you know, a 15-year-old brother, 17-year-old brother, 20-year-old brother. You know, like that's the type of setup it is, you know what I mean, when you in alignment.
I was tripping off this today. Therefore, since we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, so the rub about this shit, the real shit that really nobody really want to talk about, like, because if we really going to talk about it, we really got to sit and talk about it, is that, nigga, you always surrounded by spirits. You just don't see them.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to talk about it, then we ain't going to talk about it. But that's the real shit that's happening. The possessions that's taking place. Rob, you work at a goddamn fucking shelter or a center. You can't tell me that possession ain't real, nigga. I don't give a fuck what you say, nigga. I don't even want to hear it. If you say it,
No,
it don't even matter.
You dead ass, my nigga. Like, bro, when I got hired here, like I told you about the Reiki nurse, yo. She told me she don't like to go in the basement by herself, bro. Like, the women in this building don't like to go in the cellars. So, and I've experienced it myself. So, like, you know, there's no way you should be getting the shivers and goosebumps when it's hot as hell in the house, in the room, right? But yeah, that's normally the sign of spirit moving through you. So, like, yeah, I always get goosebumps in this building, bro. So I already know that, right?
But my thing is no way that a motherfucker should just be acting like I'm having shivers. No, motherfucker, it's a spirit in that motherfucking shelter. What the fuck y'all gonna do about that shit? Y'all gonna just throw on a fucking sweater?
Nah. I was telling AD about this earlier. She Reikis, she sages and Reikis everybody in the building at least once a week, bro. The nurse, my guy. I swear to God. I swear to God.
You got to.
Wow.
It's not a game. And imagine a nigga that don't got sage at the crib right now in 2024 talking about I'm so stressed out. I can't believe this shit happening to me. I'm having the most craziest luck. I can't believe it. And then you be like, all right, we're going to talk about Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 yet? No, all right.
Oh, man.
Hey.
They'll be ready to slap the shit out of you.
Hey, listen. Body slam your dumb ass.
Right.
Like, listen. Oh, goofy ass talking about I can't think. I motherfucker said I got insomnia. I said, listen, man. What type of shit you on, man? You got a goddamn sage that damn bedroom, man. Burn some herbs, man. What the hell? Insomnia. Nigga talk about I got migraines. Like, you got a great cloud of witnesses. That's what you got. Like,
yeah.
That shit, this is wild. Like I said, don't nobody want to talk about this shit. Niggas be like,
because then
man, that shit
it gets into the realm of this, and we bring this book up all the time, but like I feel like people don't got it yet, so I'm gonna just keep bringing it up. And like I know y'all are like I'm feeling like I'm like, dang, he ain't put up all these books. I'm like, y'all just not studying. Y'all been like, oh, I know this book. But yeah, if you don't got this book yet, man, you just playing. Like this book gets into and understands swaying the spirits and how you got no choice but to accept them or not. Tell you where spirits will be met at, who are what spirits. You know what I'm saying? Spirit are powerful, independent entities who resist human efforts to define them. That's the absolute most simple and most basic definition, and ultimately the only one you really need to understand in order to work with them. Like, the true nature of the universe, including spirit, is spirits. Like, if this fascinates you, a lifetime can be happily spent in studying and exploration. Because it's spirits in everything, spirits in our drinks, our books, our shows. Like, somebody can be like, yeah, I'm watching this show and it's giving me all these downloads. It's like maybe spirit talking through you. How many times
No,
have
it's
y'all read
spirit in
books?
everything.
You said what, brother?
I said it's spirit in everything.
The wall.
Ain't even no mystery.
I remember one of y'all was talking about cell phones and the internet, and basically saying like a phone is just like it got a bunch of spirits in it. And I just thought that was some of the craziest shit because it resonated with me.
Well, if you think about it on the level of the way you think about the trauma and shit that people go through, or that the animals go through to get these people their fucking meat and their fucking hamburgers and shit, right? Look at it like that, because all of the cobalt and all of the stuff that makes all of our electronics comes from the motherfucking it comes from the swamp, bro. Like, and they got kids picking this shit up. And it's an Indian thing, you know what I'm saying? Indian and African thing. So like we got to think about that too. The struggle that's gone through, that those entities are in these devices now.
Oh shit.
Like cobalt is a real spiritual mineral that have to be mined from earth, and you're not about to have a phone work without it. The technology don't even translate or transmute without it. So when we're looking at our phone, we're looking at a black mirror that is now set up based upon an algorithm and reference to who you are. Like, you are completely tuned in and tapped into a spiritual device. In the voodoo you want to get into Five of Swords, Ogun Balandio, where technology is an instrument for healing. That's why I be just hoping motherfuckers hop on this shit for real. But it's like you gotta actually just understand the relationship between you and the technology, because it's like mercurial. It's not like nothing in this planet, nothing you'll ever experience from your house to your car is like separate from spirit. In the movie, damn, what is that movie called? Oh my God. Where he's driving his fucked up car and it's put together by like ectoplasm. And like you can have a real fucked up car, but it's like held together by like your grandma or some shit like that. And you ain't got an oil change on this motherfucker. Like, it's old as shit, but his spirit's keeping it together for real. But that's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is spiritual. I gotta think of this goddamn movie though. It's
I know you ain't talking
it got
about
Michael J. Fox in it. It got Michael J. Fox
Back to
in
the
it.
Future?
And no, he got a
Power?
relationship with 3 ghosts. And like this movie good as hell, bro. That's why I gotta think of the name of it. Just look up Michael J. Fox and 3 ghosts. It'll come up. My internet's slow as hell, so I can't search it. This movie cold as fuck. It give you the whole rundown, bro. Damn, I'm sorry, I can't think of that name though. Wait, if y'all watch this movie,
The Frighteners,
The Frighteners, nigga, cold ass movie, nigga, cold. Telling you, lay it down. This nigga driving the most craziest car. He got 3 ghosts holding that bitch together, and they like, nigga, if it wasn't for our ectoplasma, this car would have been fell apart.
Damn.
And I know niggas know about that. Like, I know niggas relate to that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I know I ain't a nigga in the world that can't relate to. It gotta be a motherfucking spirit in this car, because ain't no way.
Yeah. You just turn the music up and just
yo,
force unleashed on this
yo,
town, such as I have
vibe out to the
never
music. Trust God.
my God, I don't believe this is not happening.
We have got a poltergeist.
Okay, well, folks, I can do a clearance, but it's not going to be cheap. Although I do offer a 6-month guarantee.
That fellow takes us totally for granted.
Hey, Stuart, in or out, huh?
Psychic investigator?
You can see spirits?
Emanations are normally confined to the cemetery,
You cannot push spirits around!
although they do escape.
We're gonna scare the living daylights out of your parents.
We're supposed to be his business partners.
Everyone says that you're a fraud, but I've seen what you can do.
Give it up, Frank. Death ain't no way to make a living.
What is happening to me?
I've seen a figure in a cape.
That was the soul collector. When your number's up, that's it.
Frank, we got problems. All these murders that have been going on in Fairwater, they're gonna pin them on you.
You're next, pal.
You don't stop till the screaming starts, you dig?
So, I just searched cobalt, and some of the stuff I found, it says, what are the 3 uses of the element cobalt? It's to make airbags in automobiles, catalyst for petroleum and chemical industries. But it was something that also said, what is the spiritual meaning of cobalt metal? And it said, spiritual cobalt helps to develop the view that all spiritual things are imbued with invisible beings.
Facts.
That's fucking
bro.
crazy, bruh.
That's fucking nuts, dog.
That's exactly what we were saying.
Bro, it's one of the realest shits that I promise you. If you can't have this conversation, you're going to not even be having a real conversation. Because it's like, well, I don't see spirits, so they must not be there. And that's just like saying I don't see air, so I can just walk around with a plastic bag over my head. It's the same nonsense. We have to talk about spirits. We have to talk about possession, or we're not talking. We have to figure it out, even if we don't understand. We have to just like say, well, I don't know about it at all, but I'm all ears because it gotta be real. I don't see it, I don't perceive it. But even admitting that you don't see it and perceive it, you can redirect your disposition. It's like flexibility. Adam Sandler and Joe Rogan had a podcast today, and Adam Sandler was saying like, man, I'm not flexible. And Joe Rogan was like, man, the most inflexible person can become flexible if they just simply try. And that's what I mean with Black people and opening their mind to spiritual development. Like, I know, like, niggas be like, you've been talking about this shit for a long time. I haven't even got started, nigga, like, for real, because this shit about to get real, because we all got phones. But if we can utilize and really, like, empower ourselves through these devices and who we are spiritual, there's nothing that can hold us back.
Ashe. Cobalt is one of 3 naturally magnetic metals. The other 2 is iron and nickel. And if you don't know this, you should know this. It mainly comes from the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Zambia.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. Hey, AD, try to find a video of them mining and like try to find a video of that shit. And it will have you thinking about these damn phones in a whole different way if you can find a video on it.
A video.
You might not be able to find it. But that shit is the craziest shit you ever want to see. Just so we can be like on FaceTime with our girl, like, babe, you looking good today. I love that new lace front you got.
No, just so you can scroll on Instagram and see women shake their ass.
Man, Man, twerking. Like,
Little
you know,
kids
you
in
ever been on
caves.
Twitter? You ever seen Twitter porn, man? Twitter porn is crazy. Like,
Bruh.
What you want me to look up? You said Twitter porn? What?
then relax.
Hey, bro, it's a chat.
Mining,
this is
in
PG-13.
Congo. Yeah. Mining in Congo. Mining for cobalt in Congo.
I'm putting it in the chat right now.
Cobalt alloys are used.
Yeah, I got some.
Cobalt alloys are used to make items that need high strength and corrosion resistance.
There's one in there right now.
Such as jets and gas turbines, generators, surgical implants.
Thank you.
Damn. It's like cobalt is like the cousin of Mars almost, the cousin of iron almost.
It's like the secret sauce to get a big ass piece of metal to fly on the ground.
Right. It's like the trade secret.
Turbine jets with propulsion propellers, and it'd be like, but we have to like coat it with cobalt first,
yeah.
though. And then they'll be able to fly. Like, we're using a regular phone. Let's coat it with cobalt, though. Like, why?
Maybe that's the vibranium, though, man.
Man, they got it. It is. Wait till you see this shit.
And lithium too.
This is one of the thousands of unregulated, unmonitored mines in the DRC. It's crawling with children, working like modern-day slaves. A 12-hour-long day of punishing work may earn them the equivalent of £1.
British accent for me.
Although one of the poorest countries on earth, DRC is rich in minerals. But a history of brutal colonial exploitation looks like being repeated now in 2017. Much of it's mined by hand with rudimentary tools in harsh, potentially hazardous conditions. And wretched whether or not, the rush is on for a mineral the DRC has in great abundance, cobalt, and it's fast becoming more precious than gold. It's a critical ingredient in lithium-ion batteries which power smartphones and laptops. An army of children are at the heart of the mining production. Wearing no shoes and in the most wretched conditions, Dorsan is ordered to retrieve the sack he's forgotten. There's an urgency now. The rains make this dangerous work even more risky, and Dorsan's told in no uncertain terms he risks a beating if he messes up again. Dorsan, with Richard beside him, have worked all day. They're 8 and 11 years old. Even this punishing work doesn't guarantee enough for food. Dorsan hasn't eaten for 2 days now. This is what help looks like. And he's one of the children making millions for multinational corporations in America and China whilst they suffer in squalor. For this, they'll get maybe 8 British pence a day.
Walitusukuma tunaenda tena tunarudia. Mimi nashikia sana mkono nauma. Mimi natumia mkono nimenyaka na mbavu.
The tunnels are dug by hand with no supports. They frequently collapse, especially during rain. The miners climb down using holes carved in the rock and no safety equipment. This most precious of minerals is often extracted and sorted by tiny hands. They don't wear gloves or masks, yet the World Health Organization says exposure to cobalt and breathing in its dust fumes can cause long-term health problems. We visited 5 different mines across the south of DRC and found all used child workers. Monica's the youngest worker in this group at just 4. But even those barely able to walk have lost their...
shit, bro. Think about that shit. Your 4-year-old, sending your 4-year-old off to go to work.
To be a miner.
A miner.
Nigga, you know how many regulations it is in the United States alone just to mine, 10 feet underground?
gotta
And
be
all,
gotta
oh my gosh,
crazy.
that's insane.
Yeah,
That's insane.
it's really the world that we live in, and it's just like for me, I just be wondering, like, when people be on these apps for whatever reason and they don't strive to make a difference, I think like you're really missing out on a golden opportunity. So AD has said, go to your altar and get rid of your ego. That's really the move, because it really, you never really know how, what, when, where, why you can make a difference. But I guarantee you, like, this phone ain't for your entertainment or enjoyment. It couldn't be.
Childhoods to mining. Natalie's 12 years old. My fingers hurt, she tells us. Miles away on a different site, Makumba Mateba shows us the cobalt tunnel he's dug with 3 of his friends. It's physically tough work. They removed all this rock by hand over nearly 4 months.
It's incredibly insecure for them, although this is really rich in minerals and it's going down just 15 meters. There's no support bars, they have no protective masks or protective equipment at all. And right at the bottom, I can see water.
It's his village's water which Makumba's convinced has caused his health problems. After a lifetime of drinking it, he has a huge tumour on his throat.
Quand on est en train de travailler à Kitowe, là où on cultive les tomates, en train de cultiver, si j'ai soif, je pars puiser de l'eau.
There are countless reports of other health problems from those living nearby and working on the mines.
On trouve c'est les infections, mingi ni mama infection, ndio ile tunaona huko. Kasi mama anatumika makariere sana, tazama mtoto na infection shulungula, mingine kuna bima buton, mingine ndio tunaona don makozi linatoka mama mimba nenda makariere.
These twins are just 2 days old, and although small, so far they're healthy, to the relief of their mother.
We got it. Somebody asked, what is going to happen when the world ends? Can you open up Hebrews 12, but you don't got to do the verse, do the whole chapter. It's a verse in there that speaks to this. Verse 12.
Another thing I just seen on Cobalt is named after mythical death-dealing goblins. It's a German word, kobolds, Kobolds. It has German origins because of its toxic fumes.
It's that double O.
It's 2 O's, yeah. Toxic fumes were later discovered to be caused to cause lung cancer and disease. But it's named after death-dealing goblins.
This is what we do when the world is. Lift your drooping heads, strengthen your weak knees, and make straight paths for your feet. So that is what is lame, may not be put out of joint, but rather be healed. Strive for peace with everyone and for holiness, without no one will see the Lord. See it that no one falls to obtain the grace of God, and that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled. So really what I'm really seeing this as is like you have a path. Whether the world ending is just a misnomer. It's a misdirection. It's like something niggas been waiting for since 1852. You know what I'm saying? You know that the world going to end once they had them cars. Niggas had cars for 100 years. And we
Like Jesus' second coming.
The resurrection, the rapture, all this shit, man. Listen, you got 24 hours to follow your path. You have a divine path. And if you don't recognize it because you're too busy working, too busy jerking, too busy smirking, too busy buying a Birkin,
Both of
then you
you.
might not see it. But I promise you, it's a path for you. Like it's a path. Like it is a path that whether the world ends today, tomorrow, or 50 years from now, you can just simply follow your path. And I think motherfuckers is gonna really make it complicated in these spaces because they need to make money.
For sure. I feel
And
like that whole verse.
when you're willing to sacrifice anything, you got to sign it too. And when you're willing to sacrifice anything just to get that dollar, you know, you can't then turn around the other way and talk about woe is me. You already sold your soul.
No, they never really instructs us what to do. Oh, I'm sorry.
I feel like that whole verse was very, very Masonic, you know. Because what I get from it, you know, you got to have self-control. You have to understand what equality and equity actually is, and you got to have integrity.
I don't remember, man. Oh, there.
Period.
Thank you. Yeah.
These is like the basic principles that masonry is based on, you know.
And this verse is talking about like discipline and like if at the beginning a little bit before, it's like real big on discipline. And it would have been a time in my life where that shit would have triggered me. But now I'm like, yeah, if it ain't disciplined, I don't even really want that shit. I don't really want nothing independent. I don't really want nothing that can do whatever it want to do. Because like I want to be so disciplined and focused and on a schedule that it feels good to be on that type of time. Like I don't want to be flexible and free and all of that weird ass shit because that shit keep you broke, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to be disciplined and ordered in my life, dog. And I only want motherfuckers that love that shit. You feel me? If a motherfucker like, nah, I want to goddamn eat cookies today, bitch, go eat goddamn some Chips Ahoy. You know what I'm saying? And enjoy your day, you know, because it's work to be done, you know.
Nigga said Chips Ahoy.
You know what I'm saying? Cookies and milk. You know what I mean? Like fuck all of that, man.
Right.
2024, you trying to get some goddamn cow milk and cookies. Like this is big. Listen, man. You gotta grow up at some point, man. As
Right now, you should know how to make oat milk from scratch. You should know how to make almond milk. It's 2024. It's TikTok. These recipes ain't hard, man.
Body wash.
Nah, it takes you like 30 minutes to make some milk. Like 30 minutes, you can have milk that got no xanthan gum. That's the shit that really be fucking niggas up for real. Like anything you buy in the store have something in it that make it a preservative, or else they can't sell it in the store without a preservative. That preservative is going to fuck you up in the long run. So I would say get your fruits, your veggies, your nuts, and make your products without the preservatives. It's going to taste better and it's going to be healthy. It might take 30 minutes.
I made some walnut tacos, bro, for the first time. I was like, man, this shit really ain't hard, man. It's just these old habits.
Hey, a funny little thing. My mom had made them, and she didn't tell us what it was. We like, man, this shit good as hell, mom. Let me get some more of that. And she was like, these is walnuts. We was like, what? Like,
that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Nah, for real. I made some lion mane nuggets. All I know is I threw some buffalo sauce all on them, homemade, and next thing I know is somebody hating on them. This don't look like it's cooked right. Next thing they smashing them. All the hot wings gone. Like, man. They said, what kind of chicken is from? I said, oh, this is the chicken from the store. If I've been like, oh, this a mushroom that's been growing and cultivated. Oh, mushroom? What? Right. Oh, then we got mad. So.
They would be acting like you try to assassinate them.
Man, you finna get brain boosting power with this nugget.
Yeah, man. It take a couple little minutes to put a little extra effort into your little nutrition, but man, it feel good to just be on top of that. And like, I don't know how else to like when you go to Jamaica and your girl get like fucked, it's because the nutrition that their mamas gave them. You know what I'm saying? They got goddamn horse cocks They just can't wait to go to Jamaica on your ass. Look, babe, I'm going to Jamaica with my mama and my auntie. About to go on a girls trip. Yeah. Like, all right, I'll see you later. Like, how was Jamaica, babe? It was amazing. Oh my God. Like, it was like because of that damn diet, nigga. Like, we get goddamn bacon and goddamn cow milk. They getting goddamn callaloo on your ass. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You did get some king oyster
Fresh
mushrooms and
fish.
make some bacon.
Hey,
Say
no,
what?
no, no. To
I
that
said you can
point,
get
though,
I said you can get some king oyster mushrooms and make some bacon just like that.
man. To that point, man, I'm telling you, your blood flow will be crazy if you just ate better. You don't even have to take no herbs.
Dude,
The
eat
herbs will
Well,
help
even
you.
the
Like,
diet is the
eat
diet
some
is
kale
gonna change your
salads.
life.
yeah.
You're gonna be like Kevin Gates.
I do it. I think about it like this. Men have always wanted to be viral, strong, fertile, long horsecock. So they figured out what to eat and what not to eat to more or less put you in that game, put you in that ballpark. And it's like, if you don't even take notice to like what is fenugreek, what is black maca root, sarsaparilla, and you just be like, nah, I ain't on that health shit. Let me get some chicken wings with some buffalo sauce. And then your girl's like, I really don't even be like really orgasming like that, Willie. Like, why you don't be making me come, Willie? And it's like you could really just change your whole sex life with your food, bro. I promise
Yep.
you. It's so powerful. It's so amazing, man.
If you
Minerals,
drink
like,
some
it's
beet
crazy.
juice, start drinking some beet juice every now and then, man, you're gonna be punching like Tyson.
Man, you just feel so invincible. You know why they called it beet? The ancestors wasn't even tweaking. They was like, man, this is beet juice. Like, why, man? I was beating the pussy up like crazy last night. Like, that was what they said. Like, man, yeah, this is beets.
Oh my God. Real life. Real life. Hey, but the thing is, like, when you clean your diet and you drinking beet juice, you have to eat clean. You can't let me wash this burger down with beet juice. No.
That'd be the
You
crazy
know what I
part.
mean? No.
That'd be the crazy part.
That's like taking
Because-
the shroom and drinking it down with perk juice or something, man.
Because you can really throw off, for lack of better words, the electricity that's in the herbs by what you put in your stomach with those herbs, even down to mushrooms, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm eating mushrooms, I'm only eating fresh fruit or fresh vegetables. Because
You gotta respect the mushrooms. Like, that's an entity in yourself. Like, if you go ahead, sir. What's up?
No, I was gonna say we right in alignment. Could you play the last video I put in the ideas real quick?
Yeah. But to think of that, like, you gotta respect the entity that's in your body, because if you don't, it's just like, bro, eating some Sour Patch Skittles while you off the mushrooms, bro. You going?
But that's another thing too, AD. It's like you putting entities together that don't fuck with each other. So these entities is going to war instead of, all right, let's go ahead and get in the liver and make and help the liver regenerate, or you know what I mean? Let's get the cortisol, the blood. No, you got Skittles beefing with the mycelium. You got refined sugar beefing with, whatever it is, the black maca root, and that's why you're not getting the results that you think you should get from it. Because it's not pharmaceutical drugs, you know what I mean? It ain't something you could take no matter what's on your stomach and it work.
So here's a download that Brother Serpent had. Was locked in.
Biggest fast food chains have just done a joint venture with a company called Protex indirectly, which is an insect ingredient company through Tyson Foods.
Tyson has reached an agreement for a twofold investment with Protex. It's a leading global insect ingredients company.
Tyson Foods provides chicken and beef to companies like McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, KFC, Wendy's, and many more. And what they are now doing is they're working together to drive down prices by changing quality of the food which consumers eat. Now, many Americans are tapped out. They say that 80% of Americans can no longer afford fast food.
Prices at fast food restaurants are on the rise.
Nearly 80% of Americans view fast food as a luxury.
Even the CEO of Kellogg recently said we have to go where consumers are. We have to advertise cereal for dinner.
The cereal category has always been quite affordable, and you got to reach the consumer where they are. So we're advertising about cereal for dinner.
You start to think about what this is going to mean. These fast food chains have seen their sales fall because their prices are through the roof. And so they're going to drive down these prices by reducing quality so they can unload this disgusting food onto the masses, because the masses will have no other choice but to consume it. But I'm going to show you exactly what is happening, because it goes a lot deeper than just fast food, to help you and position yourself and your family so you can maybe move aside. Maybe you're not interested in consuming some of this food. Maybe it'll help you become healthier. Maybe it'll help you become stronger and better. Because at the end of the day, I talk about personal finance, real estate, business, and money on this channel. But all that is irrelevant if one loses their health. And I think we're going to see.
Put that in the chat last night. It's just crazy. I just started talking about food and health and shit. That just made me think about that. I put that in the chat yesterday.
Yeah, looking into Edgar Casey, he'll get you hip on how your gut should be. And a lot of people who gets into a cult, like them OTO boys and all that, like they really talk about how they have to clean their guts of parasitical entities, because those parasitical entities are the archons that they talk about.
And Gregors and all of that.
Yeah, I don't even feel like I even was type of conscious until I started drinking mugwort and wormwood. That's just like a regular staple in my spiritual diet.
I remember talking about that. I remember talking about that today. Like working with the moon, like easy ways to work with the moon is like purifying your gut microbiome and drinking mugwort every night. Like that's key to working with the moon, burning herbs before you go to sleep, working with the moon.
You get 10,000 times more downloads when your gut is clear versus when it's not. Like that shit is crazy.
I remember when I had to be on weight for a tournament, nigga, I was drinking mugwort every night. Came out looking like I was Bruce Wayne. I promise you. Because then when you eating cucumber too, that's gonna help get that excess water out of you and all that. Like really know how to flush your systems and purify pumpkin seeds. Like I'm sorry, not pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, like I didn't know there was a such thing as dead water.
Oh, pumpkin seeds still cooking, yeah. Gotta trust the intuition, man. You gotta let it flow.
I didn't know that there was a such. Didn't know that there was a such thing as dead water, bro.
Black cloves,
black walnuts, black walnut hulls. But
I'm telling you, man, when I made that walnut taco, bro, I felt like I made a whole burrito out of that shit. I feel like a different nigga, bro. Like I was like, man, this shit ain't hard. That feels so different. But no, I just feel like if you can incorporate one thing every new moon cycle, then you just doing the progress. Building the gratitude, working with the herb, taking time with your, like a lot of people will tell you that, like real people who really do this work will tell you work with the moon to do your cleansing.
It's a real thing to like, if you got like this, one of my life hacks, my money hacks, full moon to new moon, fasting with water or doing a water fast or doing like a water release, money just gonna come to you. Like whatever you want, you gonna come to you. And my logic is, it don't have to be true, it's just how I think about it. But my logic is, once you get rid of the things that's blocking finances, the finances just naturally and magically come. Like waning moons is always my most prosperous times because I just use that logic. So I'm drinking way more water from full moon to new moon, just regardless.
I had asked
But I
Breeze
always
earlier.
use water to make like water, like if you get crucial, like you need some money, write it on a water bottle. I need $5 real bad, and then drink it. It'll work, I promise you. Water magic is just real magic, man.
That's crazy how you talking about that because I remember I was talking about that big jug I put on the altar, like changing out the water methods in the glass. Now like I'm feeling like put some symbols on it. But also,
think I've
I
been
had
drinking
asked Breeze earlier.
water since the cycle.
What's your thought on the waxing Gibbous moon?
I think I'm talking to my water since the cycle now. Yeah, I think I've been talking to my water since Psychonaut, bro. I think you're supposed to talk to that shit all the time.
But
What's up?
What's your thoughts on the waxing Gibbous moon? I had asked Breeze that earlier when we was talking about the moon phases a little bit with the Scorpio transit and Leo.
I was born on a gibbous moon, you understand? So gibbous moons is like you almost made it, but you never got there quite. Like you just kind of, that's the most inauspicious moon to be a part of because it's like I don't want to align with a gibbous because like I understand that it exists, but it's like being conscious, not conscious in a good way, just like utilizing your human consciousness. Like, I can't be rich because I don't have a lot of money. Like everything just makes perfect sense until like you're dealing with like a full moon or a quarter moon where everything that could go wrong does go wrong. And it's like you gonna overreact during a quarter moon and then everything gonna work out. And it's like that gibbous don't have nothing to do with nothing. It's kind of like just a human way to look at life. Like you just got there, but you just missed the bus, and the bus just kept motherfucking going, and you like, fuck, man, like, ah, just gotta wait for the next bus, and there ain't shit you can do. You just gotta accept it. So it's like I don't really. I was born on the wax and gibbous, and that was like the story of my life, and I hated that version of life. So I was like, I started like really getting into my chart just because my fucking moon phase that I was born on was so fucking shitty, bro. So it's like, yeah, that's just the real live energy I resonate with, though. But it don't mean shit if you can incorporate other energies or even just acknowledge that maybe you are mediocre, maybe you are subpar, but you know what I'm saying. You gotta fucking work fucking hard as fuck to make some shit happen, which is going to be most of us. Most of us is born on gibbuses. Most people is not born on new moons, quarter moons, full moons. Like them is rare occasions. Most of us is just almost could have made it without Jesus ass niggas, right? But we hate to admit that. But I
What's that
think like
song?
if you
Never
get to that
could
point,
have made
you are
it.
you gonna be all right if you can just like get down to that nitty gritty of like what do you have to do to like get to the next level. Like you got to really work to get it. You can't bullshit. You can't waste time. But I think it's very favorable once you realize that.
I say.
Man, oh man. I was born August 23rd on a goddamn wax and gibbous. Motherfuckers be like, damn, man, we gonna call you Mr. Can't Get Right.
Wow, man. Well, Tribe, we got anything else we want to share? Any more downloads?
No, I'm good, man. This has been cool. This has been fun.
All right, family. Well, everybody, go ahead, give out your Instagrams, your panels where everyone can try to reach you, contact you, or follow you, see where they keep up with you and your content. You guys can always find me at on Instagram right there, AD_Senpai33. Check me out, do my martial arts, man. I'm a grappler. I love recording my content. I show my workouts, and I'm gonna start doing food stuff for everybody. So you guys see my nutrition and how I do it for as an athlete. So appreciate it. Also book me for a reading. I did a lot of readings over the weekend, and I realized that if you want to push yourself, you have to put yourself out there and work hard for it. So a lot of people was messing with me. That's a horrible way to say it. A lot of people was getting up with me and really showed me a lot of love this weekend. So shout out to them and shout out to everybody in the collective. The love is really appreciated. So Ashe.
Yes. Man, follow me on Craigslist at Snickers23. Got a special this weekend, birthday weekend. We got the buy one, get one half off special, $59.99. If you want to get a twofer, it'll be $99.99. No, sir, I'm just kidding. But no, follow me on Instagram at The Hood Mystic. I like to post on there a lot, so I like to laugh. So if you want to come and get some spiritual comedy, come follow me on the gram at The Hood Mystic, White Rabbit Psych. .com, ColumbianExchange.com. Shop with me. We always giving out deals because that's how that's how you get the money. You know what I mean? You don't sit on it. You get rid of it. Keep the money and flow. So if you want to talk, I'll listen. You know what I'm saying? But hit the websites up. Follow me on IG, and we will move forward with the conversation. Peace to the collective. Peace to the tribe. I hope that you'll have somebody that's going to be rubbing on y'all booty tonight.
Sacred Serpent, Sacred Dark Serpent, Initiates for the Flame, Instagram, Substack, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I'm kind of late. I'm supposed to catch up with my nigga Snickers. So we'll catch up with y'all niggas next time. Catch up with all y'all next time. Pause. Yeah. Thanks for the space. Peace.
At The Hood Mystic. What you say yours was again?
AD_Senpai 33. Serpent, say yours again.
Dark Sacred Serpent.
And Breeze, you can get him at Jabari.
Oh, I'm back. Just to say goodnight. It's Jabriji on Instagram, JABRI JABRI.
And Dark Sacred _Serpent. My bad.
I say. Peace, family. Peace.
Peace.